When we take the epithelial tissue, epithelial tissue is again divided into two types based on number of cell layers. So when we talk about tissue, it's nothing but a group of cells. So in epithelial tissue, we'll be having various number of cells, and those cells will be arranged in layers. So based on that, the epithelial tissue can be divided into simple epithelial tissue and compound epithelial tissue, or some books they'll be given complex epithelial tissue. So the term indicates simple. You will be having single layer of epithelial cells. Single layer epithelial cells. So where we'll find this single layer of epithelial cells and what these epithelial cells will do. Suppose if you take the epithelial cell, usually the cell looks like this with a nucleus and cytoplasm and remaining organelles. A general cell structure, if you find. But the shape of epithelial cells will change according to their position. See, if you find this epithelial cell, assume that this is epithelial cell. You find this epithelial cell if in circulatory system. For example, the lining of blood vessels. You'll be having various blood vessels. Any idea about blood vessels? How many types of blood vessels are there in human body?
Ma'am, veins, capillaries.
Yeah, veins, capillaries.
Ma'am, arteries.
Yes. The arteries, veins, capillaries, all these are blood vessels which will carry the function. Okay. So here, when we take the blood vessels like arteries and veins, they will be surrounded by some cells called epithelial cells. Okay. These epithelial cells, if found in circulatory system blood vessels, they will be having indefinite shape. Means they will not have any definite shape. Random boundaries we'll find with this epithelial cells. So such epithelial cells which are having indefinite shape are called with some name. Okay, that we discuss under what kind of epithelial cells. And sometimes the shape of epithelial cells will be like this, like a cube. Based on their position, if this is a nucleus and this is cytoplasm, the shape has changed from indefinite one. Based on the position, suppose if they are present at the expiratory system. See, expiratory system we can say in humans, kidneys. In kidneys, various parts are there. If at that position, epithelial cells are present, based on that position, their shape changes. So they may become cube-like. They'll be given some other terminology. Sometimes what happens is the epithelial cells will take elongated shape like this with a nucleus and cytoplasm. And sometimes you may have hairs, hair-like projections above them. These are also epithelial cells. They have changed into this shape based on the position if you find these related to digestive system. So the concept here is different epithelial cells, if they are in single layer, means simple epithelial tissue. The single layer of epithelial cells may have indefinite shape when they are located at circulatory system and respiratory system. They may get the cube shape when they are present at the excretory system. They may get elongated, slender elongated cell shape when they are present at digestive system. So according to their position, their shape is changing. So why the shape is changing according to their position? Answer is to perform the particular function. Isn't it? See, in digestive process, digestion of different components is involved. So they need some extra space for the digestive enzymes activity. So the cells there in digestive system are elongated and slender. See, they're having large cavity, large space inside, isn't it? To carry out that function of digestion. At the same time, when you find the epithelial cells in circulatory system, for example, we are saying blood vessels. So through blood vessels, blood will be flowing. So if their shape is not particular, if the shape is random, there will be free flow of blood. So to carry out that circulation function, the shape changed like that. So this is a point where you have to understand the epithelial cells are arranged in single layer. They may be various shapes based on their location to perform particular function. So when you take the shape of epithelial cells, the simple epithelial cells based on their shape and position are again classified into three types. First one we call as squamous. Squamous simple epithelium. Squamous. Here I'm saying in circulatory system you'll find some cells which are not having particular shape, indefinite I said. So the indefinite shape or the random shaped epithelial cells are called squamous epithelial cells or squamous epithelial tissue. Then the second one is cuboidal epithelial tissue or cuboidal epithelium. So in excretory system, I said that the epithelial cells will change their shape into cube-like structures. So that is cuboidal epithelium. So cube-like epithelial cell shape. Then the third category of simple epithelium is columnar. Columnar epithelium. Columnar means like slender, elongated structures. I told you the cells like this at the digestive system. So this is called columnar epithelium. Column like epithelial cells. And this is called cuboidal epithelium. The random shaped structures are called squamous epithelium. Clear with the type of simple epithelium types? So when you take the epithelial tissue, it is divided into simple and compound based on number of layers of epithelial cells. Suppose if you are having various layers of epithelial cells like this. Here I'm just showing 3 layers of epithelial cells. Assume that these are 3 layers of epithelial cells. So such type of epithelial cells will cause compound epithelial cells. But if you are having only single layer of epithelial cells, then that is simple epithelium. And again, simple epithelium is divided based on the shape of epithelial cells, based on their position. Okay, why the shape is changing? This is the point you have to understand. Okay, there's a whole concept over here. Is based on the functional aspect. This is the point you have to understand. Why there are different shapes. Everybody will learn these shapes, names and all. But why the shape is changing? That's the first point I introduced. Okay. So in order to carry out the functional aspect, the shape of epithelial cell is changing. Squamous epithelium will have random epithelial cell shape. Cuboidal epithelium will have tube-like epithelial cells. Columnar epithelium will have slender elongated cells.
What do the hair-like structure do in the columnar epithelium?
Yeah, that we'll discuss in detail when we talk about this particular columnar epithelium. In digestive system, why this hair-like projections are there, that we'll discuss. Okay? Other than that, see, the squamous, cuboidal, columnar, why this terminology came? That's the first point you have to understand based on the shape and position. And why the shape is changing, why the epithelial cells shape is changing based on their position in order to perform particular function efficiently. Okay, take the squamous epithelium. The first foremost point is the cells are having random boundaries. Means they will be having an indefinite shape. That's the first point you have to understand. Now, then where they are present. When you take the position of a squamous epithelium, you will find squamous epithelium at various places, and that epithelium layer, epithelium is nothing but a layer of cells. Okay. Now that epithelium layer will be called with different terms. Suppose if you have the epithelium layer at the heart walls, then it is called perichondrium. Okay. And if the epithelial layers are present near the lungs, now in lungs we will be having some air sacs. I hope you might be knowing this. What is the name of this air sac in lungs? Any idea?
Alveoli.
Yes. Yes, sir. Alveoli. So when they are present around alveoli, they are called squamous epithelium. Different terminology are there related to squamous epithelium presence. Okay. This is what we are talking about, the simple epithelium. The simple epithelium is based on the position and shape divided into squamous. This is what squamous epithelium. All the cells are flattened and no shape, regular shape is not there. They're randomly arranged. Okay, that is squamous epithelium. When you take cuboidal epithelium, this is like cuboid epithelial cells will be arranged. This is the single layer of cell. The yellow highlighted cells are the epithelial cells. And you can find these epithelial cells as a single layer. That's why they are called simple epithelium. So this is cuboidal epithelium. When you take columnar, the CND columnar epithelial cells, they are again single layered, but they are very much elongated, slender, tall cells. So this is the columnar cell with cilia, hair-like projections, which I am talking about. Okay, we'll see why this structure is like this, with columnar cells having cilia. Okay, this is what simple epithelium, squamous, cuboidal, columnar types. Okay,